Hello everyone. In previous session, we have seen Hibernate configuration, Log4j configuration, JDBC configuration. Here, I'll continue where I left yesterday. I'll explain you in Hibernate how to update an object, right? How to update an object, how you can delete, right? This is CURD operation, CURD, which we are pending. We'll continue that. Along with that, I will go in detail about logger. I will show you about the rolling file appender, and how you can log into database. See, there are different concepts, different theories which is used in software development field. Whatever I'm showing you here, whatever I'm telling you, all are from my experience, that starting from 2006 till date. In my playlist, you will find a playlist on leadership attributes. On leadership, I have recorded one 7 leadership session yesterday and uploaded it to YouTube. You can check it always. Go to YouTube. If you want to understand what is servant leadership, how you can become a servant leadership by slowly, you know, adopting the attributes defined by servant leadership. Just go and watch it. You will get the concept of our theory, the philosophy and psychology of servant leadership. So let me continue here today's session. First, we'll go with Hibernate, and then I will explain the logger part of it. Yesterday, means this previous session or yesterday's session, I have already explained about uh, integrating loggers. Right? So till that, whatever I have explained, I will go from there. But now I'm not going to talk anything about loggers. First, we'll talk about Hibernate, then the logger. Let me share my screen. Yes, so my screen is visible now. My screen is visible. If you were able to see, this is for the program. And let me comment out all these only Hibernate part. I'll keep on and we'll continue from there. So let's go to the Hibernate, that person DEO, right? Data access object, the data access layer. We have faced a get person by ID. I have shown you retrieval. I have shown you, and I have shown you the save operation, how to create or how to insert record into the table. There is something called to get person by param and update. Get person by param basically the attribute you pass any attribute you can get based on that attribute, right? And then update, how you can update a record. We'll talk about that. Okay. So before talking that, see, uh, Hibernate also provide an option to create tables in database, right? So there is called DDL operations, right? Data database definition language. DML is database manipulation language. DDL is database definition language, right? All these select queries, comes under, or the update queries, this all comes under DML, right? Data manipulation language. And DDL is basically create table, or these creating database, create table. These are database definition language. So Hibernate as an option where if you don't have any table and if you have enabled it as true, it will create a table for you, all the attributes in the object present. Whatever the object you have, value object or data transfer object, whatever the attribute you have present there, it will create a table for you with the object name and the attribute name same. If you have defined with annotation, the way we have defined with annotation here, person, entity, table, name. If I give something here, underscore person table, something if I write, then it will create an entity, or it will create an entity in the database or a table in database with person underscore table name. Otherwise, it will create a table with person name if you don't have this table name attribute in your class. So see, Hibernate has lots of feature which actually helps, to perform, do lots of operation with the database or tables. Whatever I'm telling you, it is basic, and it is the base. From here you start, your operations, or you start writing code in this way, and then from there you grow, right? So that's how it is. So let me go and continue the thing here. What I have done, that update operation, or the other operation, the update or get person by parent. I will just explain it, right? See, here you have a person object get session dot create query, right? That same thing we have done. I think I've explained it yesterday, right? I've explained it yesterday, right? Using the question mark here from person class. I have shown you the difference between this question marks, and that, right? The difference between this question mark and set prepared statement dot set string, right? The question mark one and this question mark two. I've shown it in JDBC. That same thing we did here while fetching in the select query, right? Here select query create from person. So here I'm not giving any condition dot list. But if you come to the next method in retrieval method from person only, if you come to the line of 48, 38 is retrieval, 48 is get person by ID. If you come to get person by ID 48, you will see get session get person class ID, right? So here there is no query. It is direct passing the object and the primary key. Hibernate has already provided a method. We just get method where you pass the object and the primary key. It will fetch the record based on the primary key. So you don't require to create any query. But if you go for get person by param, then you have to create a query and then set the parameter. Similar way. Here, see here it is colon gen, right? This is the input parameter I have to pass. So if you see in set parameter line number, just see at line number 64, it's get session create query from person where gender equal to colon gen, right? Based on the gender, I'm going to fetch. And what kind of object it will return? It will return the object person. So person dot class. Right? What parameter it is taking gen. So you have to do a set parameter, and that set parameter is like this. It is coming down. See, this is what the whole line. Set parameter gen person dot get gender. If you have multiple parameter, then again after if you have multiple parameter, I'm just breaking this line number 64. If you have one more parameter, so what we can do here, rather calling this list, you have to do another set parameter. You have to do another set parameter and then pass this. So what I'm trying to tell here, let's say where gender is this, and age is, let's say age equal to something. Yeah, we will give that. So here set parameter is, and here what you have to do, person of the person, you are communicating it from the person, right? Person dot get age, you pass age here, right? And then you give hello, sorry, dot list, then dot list dot list, then you end your statement, right, or the line. So this is how. So as many as parameters you have, you can set it using dot set parameter, dot set parameter, dot set parameter. The same way what we did in JDBC using prepared statement. Right? So let me go and run this query. Get person by param in Hibernate main Hibernate class, and see how it works. Right? So here. Before that, let me do something here. I need to comment out something here for your, in this Log4j, I need to comment out something. I just added it before starting this session to explain you all. Let me fill for initially, let me comment it out, and then while explaining, I will explain you all. So going back to main Hibernate, here, yeah. So we have get param, list. We are only setting this what a female gender, right? So let me do set as So let me check if any female is there with, so many females we have. So let me check. Oh, it is person, right? Database is sample person. So we have a female 37 QT, right? So not Q2 is female 37. As let me pass 37. As is integer, so it is not taking a string. So that's how it is. Now let me run it. Okay. So we got something, right? Let's see. Yes, see, this is the extracted JDBC value 37 QWERTY female ASDF, right? Here you see the system.out.println, it is coming here, right? Person ID 109, first name QWERTY, last name ASDF, middle name TYYS 37, gender female. Right? So now, if I give the age 40, if I give the age 41, that is my wife's age, it will fetch her name also. So let's go and see it. Just changing the age variable and keeping female. That's what. What is the age there? 41, right? In the database. Yes, in the database it is 41. So let's fetch my wife. I put the female and age 41. Let me maximize it. Huh? So here you see gender, female age 41, last name Sahu, first name Madhusmita, ID, right? We got it all. So see how the query is getting from the select query here. This is the select query, right? Select this from person, where person gender is this and person one age is this. This is how the hybrid query is getting generated. The object, this is called object graph, right? This is how it got created, and this is how it is populating the database. See, this is called the actual Hibernate query. Select, query select, selection, selection, root. You know how that's, we are setting what? We are creating a say, SQL statement, right? And what, let me go back to the log file on the, you know, uh, notepad plus. That will be better, right? Hmm. See here, the if you see here, applying informal type of basic sequence path source, right? Integer. Where I have a Hibernate query HQMST. See, this is how the Hibernate query gets generated from where equal, and then it execute. If you see, this is how the query is getting generated, right? This is how the query is getting generated, and then after that, goes create a SQL query, read to the database, and get us the output or fetch the SQL query response for us. So this is how it is now. If I what I will do, I will just put a gender male and I will put my age 44, right? And put my age 44. Let's run this now. See what it did. It got person ID is this, first name is this, last name Sao, and first name Satyananda. Middle name is not there. Age is 44, gender is male. right? So it brought my record, Satya's record, or Satyan's house record, and fetching from the database. So this is how you can create, using set parameter attribute in Hibernate, the query, right? So see this code properly. I will push this code today to the Git, and I will share the particular link in that, my uh, video description. So you can always watch from here. This is how it is person.get is list. Right? Now coming to update, how you do update. Update basically you can do session.begin transaction and session.get transaction.commit. That is always required when you are inserting anything to the database. You'll be in safer side. Right? So what I'm doing here, I'm passing a person object. Right? If you want to set all the field of the person object over one field of the person object, this method is going to help you. So begin transaction and then person object session dot get person, and person dot get ID. So this is hard. No, this is one way of updating the existing record in a better way where there will be no data collision, right? So data loss or data collision will not happen. So what you do, what basically it is done here. First you fetch the object person object, and then what you do, you populate that person object and then merge it. That's how it will, update very easily without any data collision or without any data loss or without any, data uh, displacing or something like that, right? See, you see, what it is here is basically we all need to talk about update happening, right? We how we can update the data, data on the particular table on the person table, right? So here, see what I am doing. That is the major concern should be here. Since I'm the only person, no one is here in this video, so no one asked me any questions. If it would be a live session, if I would have got more questions, this session would be very interesting, right? And many concept or uh, many kind of situation or scenario would have come where we would have discussed about it, right? So anyway, whatever I'm showing you is a very simple, straightforward approach to save your update your record. Earlier in Hibernate there was a method called save or update. If the record is not there, it will create a record. If the record is there, it will update. In this version of Hibernate, the save or update or load methods are deprecated, right? The method is deprecated. I will show you here session dot. One second. In line number 97, just see it. You see save or update, right? You see one line is there. This showing one line, right? This method save or update from the type session is deprecated, right? The method is deprecated, and sometime in future this method will get removed from the API because of some reason they might have deprecated it. So nowadays people don't use save or update. When we started initially our career, and when I started using Hibernate, I used to use load method to load the data, and save or update to save or update it, right? And in some situation all is same, right? So the thing here is the framework is getting upgraded, and when a framework get updated, when new methods are added, all methods are deprecated. That means there is a better performance, better efficiency has been implemented, or in a better way it is saving the records to database in a faster manner. That is the reason why the old method is deprecated and one new method came into place. This merge method is there from long time, it's not new one. Right. So here, what we do, we fetch the object and then populate the object, the value which need to be updated. So initially what we did, session.get person. Person object we fetch from the database. This particular line will fetch the session object from the database. What I will do, I will write one SOP so that you can easily see, so many loggers are coming and going. So we will write here logger.debug, and that will be better, right? You know, so logger.info. We'll write logger. That will be better for us. Logger entered update, and then here where it is. here. Now we'll add system and we'll add this. Just take it in both the places. So here what I will do, I will just put fetched person from database. I will print that object also. Right? Person object. Right? This is what we fetched. And then here another debug I will add. Just before merge, you know, updating person, updating person, updating person. That's all I will put the same object. You see, what we fetched from the database and what we are sending to database, right? And one more, see, this query I have written so much big. This is I have written in such a way. What will happen now? It will update all the records. Even if I pass one record, it will update that one record. If I pass all the attributes or all the data types or all the variables of the person I set and pass it, it will update all the records. What I am doing here, person which the update is coming through the method, right? Person dot get fast name. If it is not null and not empty, then set it or else set the same fast name which you got from the database, right? This is what I have done in this particular method. If you see, this is the line ternary operator. Here see, check the line number 88. Check the line number 88 now. My mouse is moving it, right? Till the point my mouse moved and it is selected. See the selected statement. Person dot get fast name not equal to null and person dot get fast name dot is empty is not empty. Then if it is true, right? Set get person dot get fast name. Else, see line number 80, partial setting. Get person object, get person object fast name. The object which you paste from the database, whatever value is there, set it there. Right? This is how I am doing so that you'll be able to set all the variables or uh, all the columns you want to update into the object. Now let's go and do an update. Right? To main Hibernate here. So let me comment out this param method. See, now let's say I want to update. No, I want to update. That is what I want to update. My wife's 909 ID, is 240. Let's say I want to update that to 40. Nine is 240. Right? Now I'm running it. Only I'm updating only one parameter, right? Okay, so it is successfully run. Okay, let us go to the file here. It is difficult here to see in the console the lines are configured. I will show you how to set console attributes so that everything will come into the place. See here it is update person set. This is what it is did, updating the person, right? And here there will be something it has fetched. So if you don't find what is there, so what you do in the log file when you are confused to see where it has gone, where the log is gone, what you do now? You always better go to that do class, send your class. What is the log we added here? Entered update, right? And here we have added fetched from person from database. Copy this, go to the notepad plus plus or the tool which you are using, paste it here, and then search. That will come to that log, right? See, it is saying fetched person from database person. This is what it has fetched. The all detail of my wife with age 41. And then I shall make it like this. It will be easy for me. Come down. Here you see, here what happened. We have set the age in 40, right? Here we have set the age 40. Now the update is called and it has done the update. Let's go and see it. See, age is 40, right? Age is more updated to 40. Now, if you want to primary key, you cannot alter it, you cannot update it. So all other attribute, first name, last name, middle name, age, gender, if you want, you can always update it based on these attributes, right? So this is how your update method works, and I will push this code today to Git. You all can have a look into it. Right? Now we'll go back to logging. See, whatever I explained yesterday about logging is a basic how we are integrating, how to integrate log with this particular code. The first part is of the log is why you need a log, right? I have explained that why you need a log yesterday. You need to debug your application. You need to track your application. You need to track some information how the application flow, the code is working, right? It can be done by adding this logger. And there are one more advantage of log is you can even push this log into database. Right? Sometimes what happened now for auditing, we put loggers. Right? You want to save the some kind of information into database. You can use this log4j for that purpose also. You can have a table and you can put this logging information, whatever information you want to put. For auditing, you can put it into the database table also. That also I will show you here today. How we can log all this content into database, not the Hibernate content, everything, but with a small, small program with few lines. I will show you. You can try how to push all the information you wanted to log into a table. See, I had a requirement somewhere back, few years back when I was working. I had to put few information, logging information, application logging information into database. Running logging information into database, kind of a running sheet. So I used this and I had put it into the database. It again depends what is your requirement, right? If your requirement is fulfilled by Log4j API, you do not require to write your own piece of code to put the logging information into database. If it is not fulfilling, then you can go and write your own piece of code, right? That is called reusability. Whenever you are able to find some API is there and it is tested, it is tested and it is having better efficient rather writing your own piece of code. It's better to use the framework which is already tested and delivered. Either it is open source, if it is open source you can easily use it. If it is not open source, then you have to think, are you going to purchase it, the software? Are you going to you have that budget, or you have to write your own? If you can write your own, you can purchase it, right? So that's how it is. So let's comment out this. Oh, one more operation is that delete, right? One more operation is that, see, delete is also like that. I will explain that how the delete is. That you can write that person. You can try this. You can try that from your side. Delete method is not there. I have not written. I think so. You know, I'll show you. Yeah, public void delete, right? Here you do get always this first line will be same. So let me copy, let me get this session dot get session, right? Session dot get session, and then session dot delete, right? And you pass the pass the person object whatever ID you have or person object and delete it. You can do that way. See again, this delete method is deprecated. This delete method is deprecated, so you cannot use that method. There is some other method will be there to delete the record, or you can always write a create query to delete the record, right? See, there are so many things you can use plain SQL, by using named query option of Hibernate, or you can use uh, create query, right? So this is how you do. So delete method they have deprecated now. Delete method they have deprecated now, and earlier it was not deprecated. So you know you can always take your own approach, the approach you want to you want to use for deleting the records. See here another method which is basically delete has two methods. One both are deprecated. During our time, these methods were not deprecated when I was writing code. It's been a long time, 2000, 8, 9, 10, 11. That time it was not deprecated. We used to delete used to use this method to delete. Right? So you can use this method anyway, or you can write create query and pass the object, right? This is how it will delete the record. This is very simple. Try it. If you are not able to do it, message me or comment me or mail me. I will be definitely able to help you. So let's go for the log4j XML. In log4j XML, I'll comment out this person du now. We will not talk about anything about the person du. We will not talk about anything updating in database through Hibernate. So I commented out. This is the main thing which I'm going to talk now. I just look into it. So see, as I explained yesterday, that logger thing, right? Not this one. Yesterday we had a beautiful diagram, right? I'm just looking for that. So let me see if I'm able to find that diagram. That will be beautiful. Not this one. Let me go to the images, right? Sometimes images helps us, right? Uh, mm, 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 mm. Yes, let me go to this. So why Log4j is not like it is upon says with Log4j it is possible to store the flow data details, right? Log4j is used for large as well as the small projects. We can log statements, right? You can log statements rather writing system.out.println. And if you want to write into a file, then you need to write your own program where logger is helping you to put it into the console. Log4j is helping you to put your logs into the console as well as into the file as well as into the database. What else you need, right? Where is the diagram? supposed to be in this page. Yes. See, if you see this diagram which is on my screen, right? So this rule is at the heart of Log4j, right? It assumes that labels are ordered. For the standard leaves labels, we have all debug, info, one, error, fatal, off. This is how the labels are, right? So here, error, one, info, debug, trace, right? What all these label are, what are the highest level and what is the lowest level, right? So see, here I will show you some example, how it matters. See, if I have given logall.trace, this is the priority, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how it is the priority. So here, if you go to log4j XML, I will explain you today. Yesterday, on previous session, I have not explained you. I will explain you today. See, first, log4j XML start with configuration. I think I have not explained in detail, but I explain you today. Log4j configuration log4j starts with configuration, right? In the old file, log4j XML or log4j version 1 or log4j version 2, most of the attributes are same, and you can configure in same path, same style also it supports, right? It has backward compatibility. So see, when configuration status, I'm given status info. Once I want to, at information level on this now, the properties. In properties, you can define many attributes. This I have not put yesterday, but today I have put it here to show you that you can do it in this way also. See what I did. I have defined here one properties, right? I have defined one more properties, and I have defined two property here inside one properties attribute, right? In the two properties are what it is showing with the file name. The first property line number 5, it shows file log directory, right? So that log directory where the file should be, the log file should be created. And the next one is about rolling file log directory. I will tell you what is rolling file log directory, but you should know what is file log directory because yesterday I have explained what at this yesterday this property was not there. This file path, this file path what I had here now. So if you see this file path what I added in line number 5, right? If you see is line number 14 file, I put dollar file log directory with curly braces, right? Within curly braces, I put file log directory and then dollar slash file name. This is what basically will replace this file log dollar will get replaced by this path C colon or whatever the path I've given, right? It will replace with that path. And coming down, I have that pattern layout. I've explained it yesterday, like the pattern layout of the that's how it is. So now, but again, you come down, right? If you come down, you see here root inside the loggers. This is appendix. In the appendix, you have to define all type of appendix you want to add. What is the appender? Appender is basically where you want to put your logs. Either it is console, or it is file, or it is logging file, or it is JDBC. So we have already seen console and file. I will show you what is rolling file and what is how you are going to put into database. But before that, I want to show you something. See, in another tag will be there within the configuration is loggers. If you come to loggers, you will have root level, root and the configuration is level all, right? Here I have given the all. If I give the all, what will happen? See here in the console, right? You just watch my console. I will run that main program. I have commented everything in main program only. We will have logs from these all logs. All other logs will be disabled, right? Because we are not initializing. We are not calling any method. So there will be very few log you can easily see it. See what happened now when I've given all label all, it is showing me all the it is showing me all of them, right? It is showing me all of them. Your error, trace, debug, info, one error. It is showing me all of them, right? Now, in your application, you will have some places logger.debug, in some places logger.info, in some places you might have logger.one, in some places you might have logger. Something else, right? But you want to switch off one set of loggers, so you can do it from here. You can configure it as log4j2.xml. Here, what you have to do, here, what you have to do, here, uh, Say in root level, in root, you make it, let's say I want to see error, right? So you make it error. When you make it error, what will happen, right? Just let's see it. See, only this error message is there, right? All other are off. All other are off. What is error actually? Error is at what level? See, error is at top level. If you give error, the highest level, it will only display error. If you now come to one, it will display both one and error. Now, like that, you can always configure what you want, what you don't want. Here, what I will do, I will put it here. One info. Let me put it here info, right? Let me put it for info. Let me put it here info. Something else I click, right? See what happened. It is showing this is info message, this is one message, this is an error message. So when I put info, it is showing all other, right? Now if I put trace, it will show everything. So this is how you can configure. There are so many configuration in logger file. You need to do it based on your requirement, what you need. I put it at trace now. If you see when I put info, it is showing this. If I put one, it will show only error and one. If I put one info, it will show info one and error. If you are seeing the highlighted piece of statement in console. Now I have put here in line number 70 trace, and if I run, see what you are going to get it here. See here what happened inside main, and you are able to see all these messages. And sometime back you might have seen that inside main was not coming. Why? Inside main was debug, right? Inside main was debug. Yeah, I was configured for info one and error. So yeah, when I configured for trace, inside main also came into picture, right? So that's how people write log into the log file based on their requirement. They will always, based on their requirement, they will always try to find what is required, what is not required, try to configure in that way. Now going to this log4j XML. See what is happening now. I've defined this file, and in this file it is only one file which is getting appended, right? Which is getting appended. So slowly, in case of production system or production environment, this application running on this production environment, slowly, the log file will get written by application. Slowly, this file will become a huge size of 10 MB, 20 MB, some MB size, right? It can go up to 1 GB also. How we will open that file if it goes to 1 GB? It's very difficult to open the file and read it, right? You need some tool. So for that reason, what we do, we create a rolling file appender where a file size will be given to 5 MB or 10 MB or 2 MB, whatever MB, 1 MB, and after that it will create another file. When that file size is 1 MB, 2 MB, 3 MB, whatever your size configured, after that a new file will get created, and in that new file the file will get written, right? So and again we can specify how many files you have to create and then rotate. Let's say I will specify create 1 to 10 files. After completing 10 files, delete the old file, very old file, or the first file, and recreate one more file. So don't go more than 10 files. You can configure that also, right? So let me show you the configuration here. Let me show you the configuration here. So why I was deleting always this log file, if you see after log, because the size will get bigger and I may not be able to open it. Now let's go to our Eclipse. What we will do, we will let me maximize this. See here something called rolling file appender, right? So you have to add that rolling file appender. This is rolling file appender. See the new way of writing rolling file appender I was not able to find. I think the way they have written it here. appenders console file name the same way the rolling file appender you have to write here. This is how you write. Right? This is how the configuration of rolling file appender. What is first? First is file name. That is the same thing like what you do for what you do for what you do here in this. Let me copy this to that place so extending it will be easier. See line number 44, right? See line number 44 and 49. You can just compare what is the difference. Here also you have, okay. So here also you have file name, file. Here it is rolling file. So when you write file, it is just a file appender. When your tag starts with rolling file, it is a rolling file appender. Here you have written name, file, your name, rolling file, file name. What is the file name? You know, this is what I'm giving the file name with full path. This rolling file log directory is coming from the properties which I have shown you earlier. If you see line number 6, it has rolling rolling file log directory, right? That is the path I am getting from the property and setting it here, right? And I'm in file name, I'm giving the actual file name and the path, fully qualified path or fully qualified path of the file. And then file pattern. What kind of file pattern will get created once it is done? So this is again fully qualified name of the the part of path, the fully qualified name, that same with file. And then after that, what it is, percentage I, that means the timestamp it will add. Percentage I is basically, wait, hold on, let me open that, hold on, and I will show you, then we'll go. You can add based on the timestamp. You can add, 1, 2, 3 sequence integers to that particular file, right? So this is what I've created log file, and this log file I'm appending an integer. The percentage I is basically integer. It will create your file like this. This is the default file which is running file, and all other file will be log file dot 7, log file dot 1, log file dot 2, log file dot like this. It will create all these files, right? So let me delete all this and clean this folder. When I run, you can see that there is nothing. Even if I can delete this folder also, it will create this folder, because here over here I mentioned that log file, right? If you go to the top, here it is, I mentioned log file, right? It will delete this folder and it will go and create the file inside that folder. This is rolling file block, right? And this is file pattern, what can the where the file will get created. And this is the pattern, this is the pattern layout, how we are going to, here also you have the pattern layout, here also you have the pattern layout. This pattern layout which I have put here, it is the older way of writing. And if you see this is the new way from, there is different way of schema definition provided. There is different way of creation. There is nothing called older and new. Both the ways are separated. Both the are not separate, both the ways are supported. See line number 45, pattern layout. Inside that same tag, you have pattern and the values. Here, pattern layout, outside the pattern, outside the pattern layout tag, you have another pattern tag, and you have defined the pattern, what you want to print, right? Both, both of these XML writing styles are supported by Log4j XML or Log4j API, right? Log4j API, you can also define in using JSON. You can also define using YML format. At the different format you can use. So your policy is, size based trigger in policy. What is the size? How much size you want? So I have given it to 1 KB, right? I have mentioned it 1 KB, so that I can show you it is generating another file, right? So then again, at the end, rolling file appender is ended. There is something that you call default strategy. Default strategy is max size 5, and if it is if your default strategy is beyond 5, delete, delete it. That will see. I will show you that first. Let me show you this rolling file appender. And so once you have added a appender, right? Rolling file appender is added. Then you have to add that rolling file appender to your root inside the loggers. Otherwise, what happen, you will not be able to write it to the rolling file. So you have to enable this. If you see line number 76, I have enabled it, appender reference equal to rolling file, right? So this is I have. See, I am recording this video not for professional, because professional people, they will be knowing all this, right? They have already worked into this, And if some professional they want to refresh themselves, they can watch. Anyway, everyone can watch. But some engineering student they wanted to have a full stack development uh, project. Last year from my place, they asked me. I was not able to help them, but later I realized when they said we can always record and upload it to video. Then I realized, okay, I don't have any job. I'm looking for job opportunity. Let me, you know, create a full stack development the approach of full stack development or how you can develop the application with Java, starting from UI to database. So that's the reason I started creating these videos and uploading. Watch and learn, and then message me if you have any concern. If you need any support in your learning. Just you can message me, you can mail me, you can put comments on it. This is how the configuration is rolling up under reference rolling. Up under reference rate rolling file line number 76, right? If I go to my Hibernate and I will run this, right? So I'll run this, you see. So now what we have? Now we have one here in app.log will get generated. That is a single file here, app.log dot. And in this java.xml folder, you will have one more folder that is, what is that? That is the logging folder, right? And there we will create the log files. So now let's go back. See, a log file folder is created, right? And then inside that, see rolling file dot log is created. One file is created, right? Let me open that file also. This rolling dot file will be always the major file where the file will get, the logs will get written. Once this file is full, this will get created as rolling file dot one dot log. That is, that is how it will create. Then another file get created. That's how it will change the name 1.1.2.3 like that. You see, this is the message what we got in rolling file.log, and let's go to the app.log. You got the same messages in app.log, right? And now what I will do, I will just add a for loop. I'm adding this for loop only, to show you the rolling file feature. Otherwise, this for loop is not required. I'm just iterating that log 100 times. Let me iterate it 1,000 times, right? I'm running it. I'm just going to log file. I'll just refresh this folder. See, I think getting log files are getting created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? These log files are getting created. So the program is stopped now. Console is stopped. So let go back to the this. Right, refresh this. Logs are there, right? This file size you see. We see the file size in outside app.log. App.log file size is 450 KB. Right? And if you see this log file, all file size are 1 to 2 KB, right? So let me show you here also the roaring.log file. See, after one KB it is getting written to the, or it is getting stored. So here let's go back to the log4j xml. Default strategy max 5, right? And then delete, right? That is inside the default strategy. And then see, these are the kind of configuration which you can have for the your but for your rolling file appendix. There are so many configurations. So max default rolling over strategy is 5. So if I create 10, I can create 10. Max depth is 2. That is the file which I will create. That will go max 10, max, what is that? Max depth it can go till, you know, 2. The size is 2. Here it is. I will comment it up. I will add this path, link elaborator, max depth and app. This is what is useful enough. This is not required. Uh, get this, now let me run and you see what is the difference. I need to go and set this file, right? See, here maximum 10 files should be created. That's what I defined, right? The size is earlier you were saying 6, 7, 5 something, but it was not getting 10. Now you see maximum 10 is created, right? So it will create maximum 10 files here, and the depth will be 2. The depth of the stored file will be 2, that is 2 KB, and it is the file which is writing it will be 1 KB, right? So that is what the definition I've defined here. Let me go and change it to 20. You know, where it is gone. Yeah, so you see here it is I have 10 in line note 59. I'm making it 20. To just to make you or to make sure that if people that are watching my video are understanding what I'm trying to tell you. This is fresher and beginners those who have not worked, they can easily understand what I'm telling here. But let's go to the log file. See, 20 files got created, right? So this is how it works. This is how it works. Now I will go and explain you about JDBC appender, how you can append to the database, right? How you can append your contents, how you can put your content into the database. So there are so many configuration in Log4j. If you want to go in depth, you have to go to the documentation available. Provide the documentation provided by Log4j. Go to the documentation. Go through all the appenders. Go through the attributes or the settings configuration they are providing, and accordingly you can do it. Right? So let's go to the Log4j now, and in Log4j I will show you about JDBC appendix, right? How you can append it to database. Before going to that, say line number 76, this root, I explained to you about the configuration of level trace, right? Sometime it won't work. If sometime it is not working for you, what you can do, you can always add name equal to org.apache.logging. That attributes help sometime to identify which is the class for logging, and then you can go ahead and it will work for you. Let's go for the JDBC. See, when this Log4j application is, or your application is deployed in JBoss, Tomcat, or C, or in some other places, right? You will have something called JNDI name. You can directly configure a JNDI name into the uh, JDBC JDBC appender. If you don't have JNDI, it's like standalone application, like what I am doing here in Eclipse. If you are doing it the same way, you can go or take the route of data source or driver manager. Right? So I will be taking the route of driver manager here, and I will show you the configuration of JNDI. You can take that approach also. Right? See, this configuration always either you need to look into documentation or you need to Google it, right? No one remember all these configurations until unless you want to work. This is how the configurations are there. JDBC starts here, and the JDBC. Let me take out this configuration to this comment part to outside to make it more clear, visible for you all. Yeah. So if you see, this is how it is. This is how it is. See, JDBC appender is very simple. You just have a database appender name, you put database appender, and then in case of my environment in MySQL, I have a database called sample DB, which you have already seen in Hibernate. I have created it sample DB, and there is a table called logging. Right, I'm using that logging table, and this logging table should have these parameters defined here from line number 36 to line number 40. If you see line number 36, the first parameter is evented, then this second one is level, third one is logger, fourth one is message, and then throwable. Right? You should you should have this particular columns in your table. Then only it will be able to map to your database table, and it will work accordingly. Right? And here inside this JDBC, apart from this column, right? Apart from this column, you can have driver manager, because driver manager is required. You know this driver manager from JDBC onwards. I'm talking about driver manager, and same thing we did in Hibernate using Session Factory. So is what this driver manager will do. It will help you to connect data. It will help you to connect database. So what you have connection string, you do JDBC MySQL, whatever you did in Hibernate and JDBC program, right? The same query you have to put here, the same class driver class name you have to put here, username and password you have to put. This is how you have to put. If you are using JNDI, right? If you are using JNDI name, you know what is the JNDI name. If you have available, your JNDI is available. You know, if you are deploying it in an application like Tomcat or JBoss. So it's just simple one line. Data source JNDI name, like this. You know why? Because this JNDI will have this driver manager information. Since we don't have driver manager info JNDI here, we are configuring it with you know, the JDBC MySQL localhost. This approach we are taking it, right? Now let me go to main Hibernate, right? The main Hibernate. Before that, I'll go to my MySQL this place. I'll show you the database. You know, so tables. So see logging table and person table. Today only I created this logging table to show you. I'll select describe logging table. I will do it here. Describe login. This is how logging event date, label, logger, and message throw. Event date is basically timestamp. Label is worker. Logger is worker. Message is worker. Throwable is worker. See what all information you want. Accordingly, you create your columns. Columns of the table, and you publish the information. That all information to that table. So I have already inserted one record. So let me delete that. Right. Let's start from. Uh, Yeah, it's there, right? One record is there. You know, what is drop. So let's drop it. 11 SQL syntax 6, the manual correction MySQL versions. Okay, drop actually works with drop table name. It is Oracle command. It should work here. Yes. See, there is no table sample.db.login. I have cleaned everything. So I'll create a table in front of you now. Just watch it. This is create table logging, event date, timestamp, label varchar 255, logger varchar 255, message varchar 255, throwable varchar 255, and enter. Now see your description table, the desk table, you write it and log in. So you see table got created. Now select tab from login. So empty set, there is no record, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this program. And before that, as I said, you need to always add the appender to the root level inside the logger, right? So now I will enable this. See, writing Java program in front of you very easy, and errors you can easily rectify it. But sometimes what happens, writing all this program in front of you, it might, if there is any exception, it might take time. So what I do, I write before recording this session, I write and then I record this session and I explain the same thing. Because debugging the application here, it will take some more time, right? And again, uh, taking more than an hour, people will get bored. It's almost an hour now, and taking more than an hour, anyone watching these videos, they will get bored. Everything should be very quick, right? So see, now I added database appender, right? I'll go to this log file. I will delete everything. Log file we don't have in log, and here also I'll go to the folder. I will go back to the Java XML and I will delete this app.log. The app.log is also not there now. Deleted, right? Now we will run it. So everything will get created. It will drop. It will put the message in console. It will put the message in app.log file. It will put the message in rolling file. It will put the message in database. Now all the places will put the message. So let's go to the main.java and remove that for loop. Right? For loop was only to show, to write more logs so that file size will go more than the size what you have configured, and it will create more number of files. That is the reason only I took a for loop. So now I'll remove out this for loop. Now I'm running it. Right? Java application. Okay. So this is how it has. This is how it has. This is the log, right? This is the log what we got inside main. This. Now let me go to Notepad++, rolling file, refresh. See rolling file, same inside main, and this is trace, this is debug, this is info, this is error, right? Let's go to the app log, refresh, app log is same, right? If I go to the folder, see app.log file is created, log file, rolling log file already is created because it is not exceeding the size. It has only one file. Now let's go to the database. Select from login. See, right? We're able to see. We're able to see logger. Who is logging this file? Now this is what is the information we are storing here. Event date. What are dot the date, the time it is logged in, and debug. The label is debug. Logger. Who is logging this? From which class it has got logged? This is what com.example.main.hibernate. Then message is inside message. What is the message I have printed, right? And throwable, since there is no throwable, it is not there. Now what we will do, we will just retrieve one record using, by ID, right? We'll retrieve by ID and see what it is logged, right? We'll retrieve by one ID and we'll put logger.info for the person object. This is system.out. Let it be there. We will put logger.info again, and there we'll put person plus person. And let me run it now here. So see, one more thing I'm going to tell you. You don't need org.hibernate .orm, all this logging, right? You don't need org, hibernate type, descriptor, basic type, all this you don't need. You need only your all logging information into the database. There is also configuration. You have to configure that in that way so that only your information will go into the database table, not other information, right? Accordingly, you have to configure it to your root, your label, your appendix, so that it will only send these informations. Why it is executing so much of time? This will not go so much of time, right? Only to fetch, it is taking so much of time. Why? What happened? Is it because, see, it might be because it is, setting it to database. See, I told you, it is sending everything to database. So this is all we don't need, right? This is all we don't need. See, at the end it got stopped, right? It executed, it got this, right, by that ID. And see, if you go to database, it has logged everything. So whenever you are using database, JDBC appendix, you should be very careful what you want to log, what you don't want to log. It's just for you people to get give you an awareness that you can also log in into database. We when I had an application, we used to log only the information of our application to the database which we needed, not all, only specific information which needed we used to log into database using this appendix. And we had one more configuration that is not using log4j, that is with our Hibernate mapping to audit table, inserting the information to the audit table, the information which you need for auditing the application, right? This is how it your log4j, this is how it works. So let me end this, right? Let me end this. Let me end this. What we will do, I'll to clear this table, I will go again and do the same thing, to have a fresh table with less data. So logging, there is no logging, right? So you see, there is no logging. I just drop that table off because of so much of huge data, right? It's storing so much of huge information. See, it is storing so much of information which I don't need. So you should know how to configure that. This is your task. Whoever is watching, this is your task. After configuring JDBC Appender, find a way how you can configure only for your application log, the application log which you are generating. If I comment out the Hibernate call, what information you had seen, that is only the information which I am logging, right? The only the information which, after commenting out the Hibernate code, if you see, it is logging only the information which I have in this main method, that is main, and below this log. It's not logging anything else other than that. See, other than that, nothing. Let's go to the database, do a select query. See, only that information. That is the information which you want to log. So see, there are many use of Log4j, and we are almost completed Log4j today. In next session, I will talk something else. As I mentioned about pattern, design pattern, and I talk about design pattern, or maybe something else. You know. So we will end our session here. Anything else you need from me? Any question, any question, concern? You can always ask me. Right? You can always ask me. The people those are watching this video, the people who are watching this video, for you all, I will share this GitHub link today. I will check in the file, I'll put in the description. Go and check this particular Hibernate logging file, all this confusion. I will remove all the junk. I'll check in uh, the project as it is, without any commented thing. It will be everything will be uncommented and proper. If you run it, it will work out. Go and do it, see it. If you have any question, you need any clarification, you need any more information, connect me, mail me, or message me, or comment me on that particular video. And in one of the video I've shared my phone number. If you are watching all these series, then you might have my phone number also. Call me on my cell, I will talk to you. Anyway, we are done for the day. We will meet in coming session. Thank you, everyone.